I thought my glasses would turn back to regular glasses by now because it's very sunny outside, but no, they're still, it'll be something for you to keep track of while I'm doing the video because they're going to eventually start turning back. Today is Saturday, February 9th. It's time for our Weight Watchers or WW weekly meeting. Today they talked about eating out, which you know is my favorite. I love to eat out. I eat out at least twice a month. But it really probably, if I was going to be honest about it, carry out is still considered eating out, even though you bring it home. And so I would say that I probably eat out then 6 times a month, which is bad, but not as bad as it used to be. I used to eat out way more. But to the bad news, I had a gain. And I'm kind of like, I'm not surprised I had a gain. I'm surprised at how big a gain I had because I was following my calories, and according to my weight chart and everything, I should have been consuming 1,800 calories. I was consuming right around 1,700. And so and they told me I'd lose a pound. Well, I didn't lose a pound. I gained 1.6. That's just disgusting. That's just, see, I got my little poopy emoji because, you know, that's what it is. It's just, you know, I can't even say it. I can say it, but I won't say it on camera. And then just like, it's like, come on, you can do better. But you know what I say? Whatever. It's my favorite expression. And my aunt, or my Uncle Bob, and my cousin Lynn, and Dale, and Sarah, and Paul, and Kathy got me this for my birthday a couple years ago. And I love it. It is one of my favorite clocks because I say that all the time. Whatever. My kids even got me a shirt that said, whatever. It's just it's my go-to word. But I really felt when I went this morning that I was going to have a gain. I never really thought it would be a pound, let alone 1.6. So my total loss is 68.8, which is still quite impressionable. But I'm going the wrong way. And so that's kind of like disheartening for me. But it's not enough to make me want to quit. It's just enough to make me want to work that much harder. Because look at all my accomplishments. I've got a lot of charms back when they gave out a lot of charms. I'm glad I joined when I did because I'm like a small child. Well, not a small child because I'm a grown adult. Mentally, I'm like a small child and I like little rewards. That's why I put in my book my own stickers because they don't give you stickers anymore. Now, if this is your first time to my channel, I put little inspirational stickers in my book just to kind of keep me on track and let me know how I'm doing so that when I go back I can look and see. And you know, they're not coaches. I don't know what they're called. You know, they changed the lingo so much. The people that weigh you in, they love to see what little sticker I have in my book this week. But anyway, the recipe is for a flourless mini chocolate cake with ganache or ganache. So I'll put the recipe on the end of the video. If you want to screenshot it and try it out, you can. I don't think I'll be trying it. Sweets are my downfall, so I try to avoid them. Accomplishment I've made so far this year is, well actually this month, is I didn't buy any Suzy Q's when I went grocery shopping this week. I usually buy a box of Suzy Q's for the month because there's 6 in the package and I usually eat 1 on Sundays. Occasionally I might eat 2, but I only buy 1 box a month. But I thought for February I'm not buying them, so I didn't buy them at all. And anyway, so the quote that we had today is, remember that it's Feb-U-ary. I like that they do that. So there's somebody at the door. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Anyway, my quote for today is, you are only 1 meal away from being back on track. If I was to go back on my tracker, I would see that I had Chinese 2 days in a row. And then I did go out to Red Robin's for lunch because I had lunch with Esther Newman. And then Saturday I had Burger King. So I mean, I can understand it looking back. I forgot all about that when I went to the meeting this morning. So you just have to remember that. So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about the card. I don't know what else to call it. WW Freestyle is all about livability. There's no such word as livability. It's livability wherever you are, thanks to the flexibility of rollovers, weeklies, and 0-point foods. Just wanted to give me a tongue twister to start off with that. You can create a dieting plan that can help you be mindful and stay on track to your goals. I could have chose better. I really could have. I could have, when I went to Burger King, instead of getting the Whopper, I could have got a chicken sandwich. The Chinese, I could have, well, which what I did do is I split it in half. I ate half on Sunday and the other half on Monday. I probably could have ordered a little bit better because I ordered the almond chicken, which is a breaded chicken, and then I did eat the rice, although I did, no, you know what, this time I had white rice. I usually get brown rice. So I could have chose better with the brown rice. I chose very well, though, when I went to Red Robin. I had a side salad with a cup of chili and a glass of water, so I can't fault myself for that. I did well. But, you know, you just have to, you know, you have to realize that when you're eating out that there are smart choices on the menu. There are things that you can choose to make better choices. I didn't do that. Like your mother says, do as I say, not as I do. Before you go, save up your smart points. Use your weeklies and your rollovers, and you can roll over up to 4 points a day. So since I started off my week that way, I tried to go a little bit under, but looking back on my tracker, I see that I was right around 23. My daily are 23. So I see that I was. I started off with a negative for my weeklies because I get 42 weeklies, but I blew them in the weekend. So I was like all week trying to play catch up, which unfortunately is my pattern. But I've learned this about myself. What I like about the Weight Watcher Freestyle is you learn so much about yourself, and I've learned about myself in that regard. And so I kind of correct it, but I do way better than I have done in the past. In the past, going today and seeing that I gained 1.6, I would have said, you know what, I'm done. You know, this is not for me. And I can't do that anymore. I'm getting too old. It's too long. I don't have that much time to wait. You know what? I'm hoping for at least another 20, 30 years. But if you think back to whatever age you are, 20 or 30 years ago, doesn't it just seem like yesterday? It really does. You can be like 40, and you can think, well, I was just 10, but you weren't. It was 30 years ago. So my point is that your life goes by so fast. Enjoy it while you have it, and live it, really live it, but don't overlive it. That's the key, don't overlive it. And you can always check the restaurant database before you go. So many of the restaurants, anyone that I go to actually has their recipe online, or not the recipe, their menu online, and you can look it up. A lot of times you'll have local restaurants that aren't listed in the Weight Watchers app, but you can find something comparable, pretty comparable to it at another. What I like to do is if I'm going to order something that's not really offered on the app, I'll look like at different places and I'll pick the highest point value that they have for that particular item. It would be so easy just to say, well, you know what, Outback has this for like 7 points, but the Texas Roadhouse has it for 9 points. I'm just going to count it as 7. You know, you can write that in your book, but your body's going to take a mental note. You know, she can write 7 in the book, but you know what? It's really 9. So I always tend to go for the higher number. And if not, then I have, you know, my body will say, you know what? I'm going to reward you. I'm going to reward you by giving you a little bit of a loss because you picked the higher option and you really didn't need to, but I'm going to show you. And when you're there, order first. Be the first one to order, because a lot of times somebody will start ordering and you'll say, oh, you know what, that sounds, yeah, I'll have that too, you know. Know what you want. I always like to know what I'm going to get before I get to the restaurant. I kind of try to listen to my English. As I always say, it is my first language. It's my only language, but other than wackadoodle, that's another language all in its own. But I do try to look at the app and figure out my points before I go to kind of give myself a general idea. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to stick to it, unfortunately, when I get to the restaurant, but I make my best choice before I go. And always be present. Be present where you are. You know, enjoy the conversation with your people that you're with. Enjoy the food. Take time to savor it and enjoy it. I always like when you watch these shows, like I like Hell's Kitchen and 24 Hours to Hell and Back, and I love watching Top Chef. and any kind of master chef, anything like that, and you ever notice that they look at the food, and then they smell the food, and then they taste the food, and they really take a second. And even when they're showing like people dining at a restaurant, they show the people really appreciating the food, really appreciating the taste. And that's really what you should do. Take the whole meal as a whole picture, not just like, if you look at a picture, you might center in, like if I'm looking at a picture of a farmhouse, I might center in and looking at just the farmhouse. But if I really take a minute and step back and look at the whole painting, I'll notice the silo, I'll notice the cows in the pasture, I'll notice the corn growing in the fields. You'll notice all the background stuff. And that's what you need to do with your plate. Look at your food and just say, this is really good. And then really savor it and enjoy every single bite. Because you remember, you are responsible for your choices, because nobody's going to tell you what you have to eat. Nobody's going to, I know like in the old movies they'd say, well, I'll have, the lady will have, and da-da-da-da, and I'll have, da-da-da. No, those days are long gone. I'm going to order what I want, but I'm going to be responsible for what I want. And you're not going to, you know, like somebody will say, oh, do you want to share this? If you really want to share it, then know what that means, share. That doesn't mean you're going to eat like 3/4 of the portions and they're only going to eat 1/4. Let them eat the 3/4 and you just eat the 1/4. Be responsible for your own choices, and remember you can empower yourself, because I love mozzarella sticks. I just love them. And they're deep fried and they're just, oh, they're just to die for me. I love them. But I know that I could order a whole side dish of mozzarella sticks and eat every one of them and not feel the least bit of guilt. But now I know I'm just going to eat one, maybe two, and that's it. And even that's high in calories, but you know, it's better than the 5 or 6 that I was eating in the previous time. And you always have to remember that you need to adapt to the situation. If it's a party and someone says, have a piece of cake, just say, you know, I'll just have a smallest little sliver you can give me. I just want to taste your cake. I don't want a big piece, just a light, small little sliver just to taste it. That way you're really not insulting the birthday person. You're enjoying that little piece of cake, because like they say, the first 2 or 3 bites are really the only thing that you really taste and enjoy. And after that, you're just eating. And then if they come back for a second piece, you know, here, have another piece, because that first piece was just so small. No, it really was enough. I just wanted to celebrate your birthday with you, or your anniversary, or whatever it is. But I just wanted to celebrate with you. I had it. It was very good. But that's all I need. That's all I want. And when you go out, you have to think of, you want to be a finer diner. And so finer is F-I-N-E-R. F is for figure. You want to figure out what you're going to order before you get there. I is for investigate. Go on your app before you get there. Figure out what you're going to have. Check out their menu. No, and even when you get there, you can ask the waitress, is this fried in oil? Do they use a lot of seasoning on this? You know, can I have this instead? Always ask. N is for note. Note what you're going to have. Note your surroundings. Note the choices that you have on the menu, and really take note of what things are possible that you can order. E is for evaluate. Evaluate your choices. Are these really the smartest choices that I can make? Is this really what I want? Is this really what's going to follow me? Not follow me, but know that I'm following the right program, that I'm making the smartest choices. And then R is for record. Write it down. Write it down as soon as you get home. Keep your book in your car, so as soon as you get in the car, you remember exactly what you ordered. Take a copy of your receipt home so you can remember what you have, and record it. Figure out the points. If you went over the points, just remember, you're only one meal away from getting back on track. So if you made a mistake and you really ordered more than you wanted, that's one meal. That's just one time. That doesn't mean that the rest of your day, or the rest of your week, or the rest of your month, or the rest of your life, you have to make a poor choice. And always remember that you can do this. It's not an easy journey. It's so much easier to put weight on. We all know that. We can go off like I did for 2 days and gain 1.5 pounds, or we can really be perfect for a whole week and lose 0.1. And it's harder, I know, to accept the fact that you were so good and lost 0.1. And when you were so bad and you think to yourself, well, it was just 1.6, I should have gained way more. Always remember that you're so worth the effort. And you're so worth taking care of yourself. They always say that you should lose the weight for yourself. And I so agree that you should lose the weight for yourself. But a selfish part of that too, not a selfish part, but the best part about doing it for yourself is not only are you doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your whole family. I'm very fortunate that I never let my weight stop me from enjoying my family. I still went every year to the cottage. Every year, no matter how big I got, I put my bathing suit on. I got in the water. I have a pool in my backyard. I get in the pool with my grandkids all the time. I go to all their baseball games, their soccer games, their concerts. Even when I couldn't fit in the seats, I still went to their concerts. I may have stood in the back, but I didn't miss it. I didn't let my weight, like so many people do, interfere with their life. And so that was one of the reasons it took me so long to lose weight, because it didn't stop me from doing what I really enjoyed. It wasn't until I've lost, at one point, 77 pounds, that I realized how much more I'm enjoying my life, how much easier it is for me to walk to that farther softball field, to sit in a chair in a concert, to go to one of their little school activities and sit in like a school-sized chair. Know that I can go anywhere and not be winded and out of breath, and that people don't have to slow down. They never said they were slowing down for me, but looking back, I understand they were slowing down for me. But it never stopped me from enjoying my life. But I'm enjoying my life so much more now that I've lost my weight. And I'm going to enjoy it even more so with the more weight that I'm going to gain. So, eating out? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I eat out a lot. But I'm going to make smarter choices, and I'm going to enjoy my life, and I'm going to have a loss next week. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do a weekly meeting highlights. I do a daily vlog. I do recipes. I do a grocery haul once a week. I do a lot of shout outs. If it's your birthday, let me know it's your birthday, and I'll sing to you. And I just enjoy this channel so much. So give this video a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you tonight on my daily vlog, or I'll see you next week on our weekly highlights. Okay, here's the menu on the back of the card for the flourless mini chocolate cakes ganache. It does look fairly easy, and it does look pretty good. But once again, I'll probably never make it. But once again, I'm going to ask you, if you make it, let me know how you like it, because it does look pretty appetizing, I have to admit. So maybe you might want to do a screenshot of the recipe. See if you like it.